Now we be cooking with gas, Cyberdogs. Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interwebs. This is ReNDoG coming at you in another episode of Minecraft Survival from the Hermitcraft server. Oh my goodness, guys, I am so excited about recording today's episode. It's super early in the morning. I've just woke up. I got a tasty cup of coffee. Give me 1 second. And I am so pumped to show you what I have been up to right here in the Mobile Lisa project. I took the entire day off yesterday to work on our Elvish Fortress because we've fallen behind a little bit in this project and I wanted to do some catch up. And as you guys can see, man, the place is looking jazz-tastic, baby. I can barely even speak. I'm so excited about how epic this place is starting to look. Let me take you a little bit closer to show you exactly what I've been up to. Now, guys, today we have got a very busy episode ahead of us if I can actually get my mouth to work properly. Today we're going to be working on the interior of the Elvish Fortress over here, and we're also going to be heading back to the netherboard to get those damn guardians into our squid farm so that we can start getting some good freaking supplies of squid juice. We've got lots of stuff to do today, guys, and yeah, as I said, look how sweet this place is looking. Aren't you guys proud of the ReNDoG, man? I have pulled something out the bag like nobody's business over here. We have been working on this wall for the last week or so. It was starting to look pretty good, but I don't know, man. There was just something about it that wasn't clicking with me, and I needed to take a little bit of time off from recording and making videos just to focus on doing some building, to make some freaking art, to get my Minecraft on, baby. And as you guys can see, I think you will agree that that is a terrible rhyme. But this wall is looking fantastic. Oh man, look what I did with the towers. Oh man, I'm so excited to show you these towers. Let's do a little bit of flybys over here. They were looking really, really plain the last time we were together, and I've transformed them into something that just looks so fancy, so opulent, so elvish, in my opinion. And I've also added some smaller versions of the towers over here too. So now we've got like a couple of versions of towers, right? We've got those super tall ones that you'll see as you walk into the Elvish Fortress. Let's get down here and sort of walk from an orc's perspective, right? So we're an orcish player. We're coming in here to invade, and look at this epicness that we are freaking faced with over here, man. Hey, Falsey, what's cracking it, man? Oh man, looking so sweet, isn't it? Oh baby. Around the corner, of course, we have got our two different things that we still need to work on. This is going to be the shop. I've just worked on a nice little entrance over here, and this is going to be our grinder, which we're going to be working on too. But I try to make both of these things look a little bit different to each other, and what I've tried to do in the design of this wall is get a lot more white concrete into it also, and I think these big patches of white really help to break up the gray of the stone bricks that I've been using here as the primary block. I think that really helps. Also, there's something funky going up there. That's not looking good, is it? We've definitely got some asymmetry happening over there. I think there's quite a lot of stuff that I still need to do, some repair work and a few blocks out of place here and there. Let's just get up there before the freaking OCD kicks in. So yeah, this is what I've been doing for the last, I don't know, 10 hours, I guess, of playing on the server. Just been working on this wall, and it has really, really come together. I'm so happy with it, man. I think it looks fantastic. And what I'm going to do is spread this wall out all the way around the circumference here on both sides so that we can get an Elvish Kingdom brewing in the back there. But yeah, that's the wall. What do you guys think, man? Looks pretty freaking snazzy, doesn't it? I know, baby. I know. ReNDoG be cooking with gas. Nobody's freaking business. Okay, let me get a breath of fresh air, guys, and then we can carry on with this episode. Cyberdogs, I just had one of the most awkward experiences of my entire freaking life, man. My cringe levels are over 9,000 right now. I got a freaking sweat on, man. Jeez. I gotta tell you this story. It is absolutely hilarious. About 5 minutes ago or so, I got a knock on my front door. Now, it's pretty early in the morning, and I don't usually get people knocking at that sort of hour unless it's the postman. And, well, I opened the door, and guess who was standing on the other side? It was the freaking postman. And, yep, it was exactly the same postman whom I told to go away the last time he knocked on the door when I was killing Edna the Ender Dragon. You guys remember that? Oh, my goodness. Anyway, I opened the door. There he was with £20 in his hand. standing there with 20 quid in his hand, and I was extremely confused. Not only was the cringe level starting to rise because it was the postman whom I told to go away, but he was standing there offering me £20 for some reason. £20 is about $30 US, by the way. And I was very, very confused. I was like, hi, what's going on? Is everything okay? I'm not expecting a delivery, so I don't know what's going on here. I guess I need to set the story a little bit for you guys so that you can understand. Oh man. So I have a Patreon, right? And I have a level of my Patreon called Diamond Patreon. And what I do for my Diamond Patreons is every month I send them something called a REN crate, which is basically a loot crate filled with a whole bunch of jazz that I pick out for them, and I send it to them every month. And I get a lot of stuff from online, right? I sometimes buy stuff from like online for the REN crates. And just before I went to DreamHack in Sweden about a month ago or so, I'd placed an order for some very important things. Now, before I went to DreamHack, I was extremely worried because these things had not arrived and I was already behind on my loot crate sendage, and I was starting to panic because I was going to be away for 7 days. And so I phoned the post office just before I left for Sweden to try and figure out where the jazz my freaking package was. Turns out that on that day that I went to Sweden, a package had actually arrived, but because I was in such a rush, I just taken the package and thrown it into the corner of my dining room and covered it with boxes and laundry and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I went off to Sweden, and when I came back from DreamHack a week later, I had completely forgotten about this package. Okay? Now, when I got back from DreamHack, I was hoping that the package would be there waiting for me so that I could send out my REN crates, but when I got back, there was absolutely nothing in my door other than bills and a whole bunch of other random spam mail, and I got really worried. I phoned the post office and I was like, guys, I haven't got my package. I really need it. I'm freaking panicking right now. And this package was GPS tracked, and they were able to look at the GPS tracking, and they told me that the package had been delivered. And I looked around my house. I was looking for the package, and I phoned them back and I was like, listen, I haven't got the package. What's going on here? Has it been stolen? I'm very worried. I really need this package. Anyway, they did a whole bunch of investigation work into it because they'd found a whole bunch of GPS information and a whole bunch of tracking information about the package. And eventually I got a letter in my door about a week ago or so from the post office saying that unfortunately the package had been delivered, but it looks like it might have been stolen from my post box, and that there was nothing they could do about it, and they were very sorry for the inconvenience, etc., etc., etc. Now, about 4 days ago or so, I was looking through my house. I was doing a bit of spring cleaning, and I came across the freaking package underneath a whole bunch of laundry. And yep, it was the freaking stuff that I was waiting for the REN crates. The stuff that I'd been complaining about to the post office, that I was telling them that it hadn't arrived, that I was opening up a dispute about it and so on. And it actually had arrived. And I for some reason, I was a freaking idiot. I was panicking that day to get to DreamHack, I suppose. And I should have checked it and should have opened it, but I didn't. So I managed to get the package and send out my REN crates. So I was pretty happy about that. But the postman came to my door this morning to personally apologize for my package being lost, right? Because I didn't phone the post office to tell them that I'd actually found the package. I probably should have done that in retrospect. But yeah, he knocked on the door. I opened the door. He kind of looked at me, looked into my house, and very awkwardly said to me, am I interrupting something? Is this a good time? I think he still has memories from the last time he came to my house. And I said, no, everything's cool. Is everything okay? What's going on? And he said to me, well, I just wanted to come and personally apologize to you for your package being lost. And I want to give you compensation for it because I know the post office won't give you compensation. So here's £20. I hope that'll cover the losses for you. And I was like, I actually found the package 3 days ago. In my house. I covered it in laundry and I actually found it. So thanks, but Please don't give me any money. I really don't want to take your money. I actually found the package. There was a super awkward moment between us where we both realized that we'd been complete freaking buttholes, and he kind of put the money back in his pocket really awkwardly and shuffled on his feet, and we had a sort of chat about the weather very quickly, and yeah, nice day today, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Anyway, toodaloo. We'll see you next time. Bye. And I closed the door and the postman went on his way. Oh man, that was some serious freaking cringe, Cyberdogs. Oh my goodness. Why do these things happen to the ReNDoG all the time? I'll tell you, I'm freaking cursed, man. Alright, Cyberdogs, enough of that tomfoolery, man. We got some serious business to attend to in today's episode. We're making a freaking mini game. So let's kick things off by talking about restriction of movement in minigames. I think this is a very important concept that we need to get our heads around if we want to make the Mobilisa a really fantastic PvP playing experience. And what I've done over here is laid down a couple of stencil blocks. These green blocks over here represent barriers that are going to be stopping player movement, or at least guiding player movement, I suppose. It'll all make sense in a moment. These blue blocks over here represent the paths in which a player can take. So, if for example these two things over here were giant towers or fountains or buildings of some kind, a player running into the fortress from the entrance would have a choice whether to go left, whether to go right, whether to go straight, and that is the kind of funneling that I would like to achieve in this. I think to achieve a lot of fun in a Minecraft minigame, you got to try and make it as simple as possible for the player, right? You got to try and make the player feel almost like the game is playing itself for that player. The less thinking that the player has to do, the more fun the game will be. And we can do this strategy very easily when it comes to restricting movement, right? Because what we want to try and do is create a whole bunch of bottlenecks. So let's get out of the fortress and pretend that we are an orcish player coming in to raid the Elvish Fortress of all of its good loots. We're coming in and we've got a couple of options that we have to make over here, right? Not too many options, of course, because these barriers over here are going to stop us going, in this direction or in this direction. And when we get to this point, we have a kind of crossroads that we can choose. We can go right, and this is going to take us into the area where the elves are probably going to be in the most dense form, I suppose, because there's going to be elves farming zombies, there's going to be elves shopping, and if I decide to go left, of course, this is going to take me to the place where I want to go to win the game, and that is to collect all of the elvish goods from this location, or to meet up with my teammates who might be entering the Elvish Fortress from the underground tunnel over here. Now, we've got a couple of other interesting paths that the player could take, and that's also a very important thing that I think you should have in minigames. You need to have sort of, different routes for a player to take, like secret routes, but not really secret routes, just more strategic routes, right? So we've got the really obvious routes, which is come in, go left to get the emeralds, or go right to go and harass the elvish players, or we could potentially use this space behind here to hide, maybe to set up an ambush, maybe to recover, maybe to eat some delicious potatoes because we're vegetarians this week. Or perhaps there's some space behind this building over here where we can do the same thing. Maybe there's an elvish archer up here that we need to get away from, so maybe we can come and hide in here behind this barrier over here, right? Maybe we can team up with our teammates over here to gather our resources before we start another raid or before we move further into the fortress. So that is what I've done here with the restricting of movement for the Elvish Fortress. I think that this is going to work out pretty good. Now, the problem that I'm kind of having right now is figuring out exactly what these barrier blocks are going to be. What are these barriers going to be? Are they going to be buildings? Are they going to be houses? Are they going to be fountains? I've had a kind of idea that I'd like to try out with you guys today. I don't know if this is going to end up being the actual design for the Elvish Fortress, but it's something that came into my head this morning when I was brushing my teeth, strangely enough. And yes, I think about Minecraft when I brush my teeth. I think about Minecraft pretty much all the freaking time. I don't know how many of you guys out there feel the same way, but yeah, I think about this game a lot. Anyway, I had this really cool idea, right? Check this out. This is the fortress of an Elvish nation, some sort of an ancient Elvish tribe. But, of course, the origins of a tribe, or of the elves rather, are from forests. Elves are driven by nature. They love nature. They spend a lot of time in nature. In fact, many elves live deep within ancient mystical forests and whatnot. And I think that perhaps what we should do in this fortress is try and bring a little bit of that ancient elvish feel back into this place, right? Let's try and maybe inject some sort of an elvish mystical I don't know, design thing into the fortress. So instead of it just being bricks and solid walls and stuff, which is really cool and which I think does sort of suit an elvish theme, what if, and bear with me with this one because it's kind of out there, what if this courtyard was some sort of an ancient mystical grove of some kind, some sort of an ancient forest? Perhaps there was at one point a huge magic forest here, thousands of years ago, that eventually got decimated by the orcs. Maybe at some point the orcs burnt the forest down, and in place of the forest, the elves put up a giant fortress. But they decided when they were working on this fortress to maintain and to hold a small part of that grove, which is perhaps the source of their power. So this courtyard over here could potentially be a beautiful mystical grove of some kind, right? And the barriers over here, the barriers that are going to be funneling the players, that are going to be driving the player movement within the arena, could be ancient trees towering out, branches going off over here, right? Branches of beautiful trees that sort of span into the sky or something like that. There's a couple of problems with this idea that I can already see just thinking about it. Firstly, I don't know if we want to cover the sky too much. We don't want to have a sort of canopy in here, right? Because that is going to restrict archers and stuff like that. We've got a platform up here for archers. We don't want to block their arrows by having a sort of canopy of leaves or something, right? So we've got to be a little bit careful with the trees. Maybe, oops, maybe the trees aren't giant. Maybe they're just small. Maybe they're just really beautiful. Maybe it's more foliage than forest. Maybe there's very little left of the forest here. I don't know, something like that. What do you guys think about that, man? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this mystical grove. I'm going to have a go at just throwing up a couple of ideas for some trees and stuff, and we'll come back together and see if it's actually sweet or not. You know what, guys? Living out on a Mooshroom Island for the entirety of Season 5 has made me forget how easy it actually is to get resources in Minecraft. Jeez, whenever I need anything that isn't concrete, I've got to go on a mission, man. I've got to leave the island. I've got to find a biome. I've got to find the correct biome for the block that I'm looking for. But out here at the Mobilisa project, we are, of course, surrounded by a ton of biomes. We've got access to all the materials that we need, from leaves to logs to flowers to frickin' bacon. What's cracking? Get wrecked. I've been making super liberal use of this giant dark oakwood forest over here, guys, because I'm currently working on that courtyard. It is looking freaking awesome. You guys ready to see what I've done? Oh, baby. Also, we get a really cool view of the new wall setup from here. So let's take to the air and do a little bit of flying, and behold, Cyberdog, how awesome our kingdom is looking right now, man. Look at that. That is immense. I absolutely love it, man. That is some super badass jazz going on over there. Now, prepare your eyeballs, guys. Take a look at what I've been up to. It is looking super awesome. Oh yeah, a giant ancient tree, a mystical elven tree of awesomeness has sprouted here in the courtyard of our Elvish Fortress. Looking pretty cool, right? Just been experimenting with a couple of blocks, a couple of flowers and stuff. Get some water in there. I think water's going to be very good for this. I don't know if this is the final design that I'll go with, but this is the idea that I've had, right? This tree is acting as well, it's a barrier, right? Players are going to have to run through this little choke point over here. And when you come into the castle, that's kind of where you're going to go naturally, right? You're going to sort of go in this direction just because of the way that the tree is designed. Now, another really cool thing about this tree that I figured out that I think is kind of cool, because it adds a little bit of strategy to this. I want the players on the elf side who are perhaps defending the wall over here to get easier access toward the elf side of the fortress, right? This is where the elves are doing their stuff. They're grinding zombies, they're buying stuff from the shops, and if there are orc players in this area, I want anybody who's on the wall to get pretty quick access. And I was talking a little bit earlier about using, you know, some secret locations or sort of secret passageways in a PvP build, just to make it a little bit more interesting for the players, just to give them some more options when it comes to sort of running around the arena, right? And this little thing, I think, is an absolutely genius little addition, where the archers will be able to actually parkour onto the tree so they can get to the to this part of the arena so they can defend their fellow players that are playing. So that's that's kind of cool. Now, I had another really cool idea. This was something that we did in the Mobilisa of Season 4. I want to add a couple of bits of glowstone into this tree, just to add some mysticism into it, right? At night, I guess, when the sun sets, these trees are going to glow. These are going to be like etho trees, basically, right? And I think that's going to look really, really sweet. So what we can do is add a bit of glowstone there, and then we can make like a nice big bush for this tree like this, right? Just so the glowstone is nice and covered. We probably want to get some leaf action in there also. Hold on 1 second. Jeez, man. There's so many lumps and bumps around this build. But there we go. That looks kind of sweet, right? And yeah, you can imagine at nighttime that is just going to glow really, really nicely. Another thing that I was thinking that we could do is add a couple of roots or something into this. So take a look at this, man. What happens if we get rid of these rocks, I suppose is what these are over here. And what happens if we had like a root that came out like this and came into the ground, and maybe it even goes like over the pathway over here, right? Just to add a little bit of an obstacle to jump over for the player. And maybe we have another bigger root over here that's going to come all the way down like this, right? And we kind of want the root to sort of follow as a root would follow, get those blocks facing in a nice direction. I think that looks pretty cool. And also, I suppose, now that I think about it, what we could potentially do also is add a lot of leaves into this area. Yeah, that looks kind of cool, right? I kind of like that, man. That does kind of look like a root. And I mean, I guess maybe we want another one sort of coming out here, maybe? Yeah, that looks pretty sweet, I think. Let's make it a little bit thicker over there, and maybe just give it a little bit of height over here, maybe? Just so that it looks a little bit fatter. Yeah, baby, that looks pretty sweet. Now, the problem that I have with this, I think it looks really cool, but the problem that I have with this is it doesn't really look, I don't know, it doesn't look like a proper forest, like an Elvish forest, right? It looks a little bit dry, I suppose, and maybe what we could do is start adding a couple of leaves here and there also, especially leaves on the outside, like, oops, on the outside like this, right? And especially around the area also. I really don't like this path block over here. I hate the color of it. It's super dark, and maybe that's what's making it look a little bit dry here also. So maybe if we just added some leaves, a couple of bushes and whatnot here and there, right? That could sort of help to make it feel a little bit more, I don't know, overgrown, I guess, a little bit more lush. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. We're trying to get some more lushness around here, right? That's the sort of goal with adding the leaves. So that sort of changes a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah, that sort of brings it to life quite nicely. I like that, man. I like that. But guys, I don't want to work any more on this until I get your guys' feedback on this particular part of the project. I really like it. I think it's going to be a really cool addition to the build. It adds like something interesting to when you actually come into the Elvish Fortress. You know, from the outside, what you're expecting is a really grey building on the inside. But when you actually get in here, you know, I want, like, the wow factor is kind of there, right? You're going to kind of be blown away by what you see. Let's get another piece of glowstone in here, another little bit of etho tree here. And the sun is going down now too, which is perfect timing. Thank you, freaking sun. We can actually see what this looks like now in the darkness, although it's going to be a little bit dangerous to get this view. But let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, baby, that's looking pretty cool, right? Like if you imagine this tree a little bit bigger with a bigger canopy over there and just these odd little spots of light in it. Yeah, man, that is looking pretty damn freaking sweet, if I do say so myself. We're back at the Netherboard, Cyberdogs, and I am delighted to inform you that our plan to trap all of the Guardians has actually worked. Take a look at this. We got one over there, and then there's one down there, and then I think the last one is on this side somewhere. Yeah, there it is. We actually trapped them, which is amazing. If you guys don't know what's going on here, it's because you didn't watch the previous episode. I'm freaking angry with your buttholes. And if you don't watch the episodes, pickaxes are going to go up your butt. Just a warning, okay? But this is good news, guys, because now we can actually get these Guardians into this tank. For those of you guys who don't know what's going on, well, let me inform you that we are trying to upgrade a squid farm over here by moving Guardians into this tank. And the Guardians are going to kill squid, and we're going to be collecting the ink at the bottom of this giant tank over here. So that's the freaking plan. Now, I need to get rid of all these boats to start with, because they are super janktastic right now. So let's do that. And while I'm doing this, I want to give you guys a very quick update on my real life. I told you guys last time that I'm going to be trying for the next week or so to only eat vegetables. I'm not eating any meat for an entire week, just as a personal experiment. Thank you guys for all the encouragements in the comment section, although a couple of you guys were saying to me that that going vegetarian is a bad idea. I shouldn't do it. It's just a myth. It's not going to help. I'm not becoming a vegetarian, people. I'm just experimenting with a different way of eating, okay? Jeez, don't bite my head off, all you people out there. My goodness. Anyway, it's been going pretty good. I've been able to stay away from meat now for about 4 days, and the one thing that I will say is that I am ridiculously hungry all the time. Oh my goodness, man. I eat loads and loads of vegetables and fruit and stuff, but I am forever hungry. I'm hoping that this feeling will pass, though, as my stomach shrinks a little bit, I suppose, or as I get used to this new diet. But yeah, that's what I can say. But I also got to say, though, that I've really been enjoying some of the food that I've been making. I am trying to follow what is known as a whole food diet, I think is what they call it in the vegetarian circles. Basically, it's vegetarian food, but it's all made from scratch, right? So, for example, yesterday I had some delicious burgers, which I made out of beetroot, bulgur wheat. What else did I have in there? Lentils, a whole bunch of other jazz, some spices, some fresh herbs and stuff. And I was a little bit worried about it, to be honest, but it actually turned out to be pretty amazing. And the one thing that I'm really enjoying in this little experiment is the little thing called a smoothie. I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys out there have ever tried a smoothie, but my goodness, I've never had a smoothie in my life until this weekend. I am loving it, baby. I am loving it. This morning I had a smoothie that was made up of a banana, an apple, a kiwi fruit, some blueberries. What else did I have in there? Some spinach, some nuts. Oh my goodness. Oh, and some ice, of course, and then a little bit of coconut water and a little bit of mango juice. And my goodness, it was absolutely delicious. I can't wait to go to sleep tonight so that I can have another smoothie tomorrow. So I've been enjoying the food itself. I gotta say, man, it's actually been a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But I gotta say, I'm super hungry all the time, and I can't stop thinking about steak, guys. Every time I close my eyes, I just see a freaking huge juicy steak. And on Sunday, I'm going to have myself a steak, man. I can't freaking wait. No, don't die. Don't die, these stupid guardians. Oh, man. Anyway, that's what's been going on. I'll keep you guys updated in the next couple of days on how things are cracking. But yeah, let's get these boats out of here and let's get these stupid guardians in their tank. Dang it! Stupid Sand Saber games. It's always the same guardian that kills me. Freaking facepalm. Stupid freaking guardian wrecking my day like nobody's business, man. My items are just splashed all over the show. I think I've managed to pick up everything now, though, from the bottom of the ocean. Most importantly are my items: Silkworm, Fang the Third, Rambo the Third, good stuff, and Poor Dirtbringer good, and the Elytra, of course. The most important. All right, well, I think I should probably give up on breaking the boats, because that seems to be a little bit of a dangerous operation right here. And is that something that's mine? No. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. I managed to salvage it. Thanks, bro. Iskall came to save me. The last time this happened to me, I lost my Elytra at the bottom of the lake. So Iskall knows, man. I'm recording. But I love you. After so much freaking derping, Cyberdogs, I just realized that this whole situation could escalate pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry, right? We got 4 guardians in a very close proximity over there. They are going to zap the absolute jazz out of us. So I think we need to whip out the big guns for this particular task. We picked up all of this jazz from the end a couple of episodes ago, didn't we? So this is kind of good news. We got a bunch of protection armor over here, which we can use. And maybe we should use this thorns one over here. No, that's really dumb, because then it's going to kill the stupid guardians. Let's just go with protection 4, shall we? And let's drop the Elytra off, because if we die with the Elytra on, it is going to be facepalm. Also, let's drop off anything that we don't want to lose over here. I guess, yeah, pretty much everything except some food, some rockets, and some ender pearl action. Got some golden carrots and some golden apples. Vegetarian all the way, baby. And let's see if we can actually get this done now, guys. I got a plan. I don't want to clear away any more of these boats because it's just going to take me too long, and those stupid guardians zap me as soon as I come close. Instead, let's just try get these guardians in. I'm going to munch myself a golden carrot over here, and then we probably need to open up like a little passageway over here for the boat. There we go. Okay, so first guardian, let's get in the boat with him, and I don't think he actually zaps me when I'm in the boat, so that's good. Let's get him into the tank over here. Let's take him all the way to the end, and I guess we should probably break the boat now that he's in so he can start his swimming. Okay, so he's free. Good stuff. Let's go get the next one, which is over here. So far, haven't taken any damage, which is good. We've got that beautiful golden apple doing the business. Let's get into the boat, swim through the freaking traffic over here, and get ourselves with our Guardian powered boat. Look at that! Guardian powered speedboat, man. That is so classic. Anyway, let's get it into this thing. Second Guardian, take him all the way to the end over here. And welcome to your new home, Guardian. Get out of the boat. Good job. Kill the freaking squids. Okay? Kill the squids. Now we got some serious traffic to get through with this Guardian, though. Okay, let's get him in. Let's get in the boat. Let's get that engine going. Flap your little tail, you little butthole. Swim faster. There we go. Okay, this has actually turned out to be a lot easier than I thought. Why the freak did I die so much to begin with? I really don't understand my own brain sometimes, guys. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let's get out of here. Back into normal view mode. Get the Guardian in the freaking ocean. Jeez, he was jumping all over the place like a maniac over there. Okay, nice one. Now we can see the Guardian pain is starting to hit us. There's 3 of them in there now, right? So let's eat another golden carrot, a golden apple, excuse me, and let's find the final Guardian. There he is, in and amongst the wreckage of all of these shipwrecked boats over here, man. Let's get into the boat and let's get him, the final Guardian, into the tank. Freaking flap your tail faster. Oh, man. There we go. Look at that. That's so beautiful. I love it. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, man. It's so awesome when it becomes a Guardian speedboat. I love it, man. I wish I could have a Guardian speedboat in real life. That would be pretty fantastic if you ask me. Anyway, let's bust this. Sweet. And let's just go and block this off because, of course, these Guardians can get out of here at the moment. So let's just add these and the carpet back down so that there's no spawning. Oh, no. Have I lost the final bit of carpet? No, there it is down there. But there we go. Look at them. The freaking Guardians are already zapping the squids. Nice. We got 4 Guardians in the tank right now. And I tell you what, guys, I'm going to go and eat something because I am starving. I'm going to go and eat an entire mango right now. I'm so hungry, and I'm just going to stay AFK in the area. Let's see how much ink we can actually get for ourselves from our brand new Iskall Guardian ink sack farm, baby. Now that was a tasty freaking mango, Cyberdogs. That hit the spot like nobody's business, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You know what else has hit the spot, guys? Our brand new Iskall Guardian ink farm is actually working. I have managed to collect pretty much as much ink in half an hour than I've collected in 2 weeks with the old ink farm design. This is, as much as it hurts me to say it, the superior design. So good job, Iskall, for coming up with a really awesome freaking ink farm. But there's a problem with Iskall's design that I have managed to solve. I was observing this area, just AFKing up there on the paper processing unit, and I saw one of the Guardians actually jump out of the tank. The Guardian actually jumped over the black block that is sort of flush with the water surface level. And that's kind of interesting because in Iskall's Guardian ink farm, all of the Guardians are gone. They've disappeared, and Iskall thought that somebody killed them or that they despawned or something. But really what happened is they jumped out of the freaking tank. You just saw one of the Guardians trying to jump out there. So what I've done is I've added another block of glass up here to prevent the Guardians jumping out. And yeah, this bad boy is now freaking firing on all cylinders, baby. I reckon if I AFK for 6 or 7 hours, we should be able to get enough ink for the rest of Season 5 out of this little bad boy. And that makes me super happy, man. Except when I see squids that are not in the tank, because that's kind of messing with the spawn rates. Anyway, all good, baby. All good. Had a great episode today, guys. We're going to have to say goodbye for now, though, because we run out of time in today's episode. But if you have enjoyed it, please remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, please remember to hit that freaking subscribe button. We're just getting going here on the ReNDoG channel. Lots of cool new stuff coming real soon, guys. So yeah, hit that subscribe button if you want to keep on watching some ReNDoG goodness. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is ReNDoG signing out of the Hermitcraft server, and we will smell you all in the next episode.